Hello there everyone and welcome back to Green Gourmet for another recipe and a new adventure together. Today's recipe is inspired to a traditional Italian recipe which is called sbrisolona. It's from Lombardy region in the, let's say, close to the Milano area, not exactly Milano area, but let's say that it's in Lombardy region. And sbrisolona is normally a sweet cake. It's a sort of a sweet crumble cake. This recipe is a savory crumble with artichokes. So before we start cooking together, first of all, remember to subscribe to my channel, like, share with all people who are interested in some yummy, delicious vegan recipes. And now let's get to the kitchen together. The first thing is you chop up the onion and then you reduce the garlic into small cubes. I actually use a garlic press, but you can use whatever you want. Extra virgin olive oil, and you start roasting the onion, and then I added the artichokes. In this recipe I am using frozen artichokes. If you are able to buy fresh artichokes, that is going to be absolutely fantastic. I'm using the frozen ones because in Italy this year it's very difficult to come by artichokes because we had an unseasonably warm winter. And artichokes normally come from Sicily or Sardinia, and it's been a disastrous season for artichokes. So I'm using the frozen ones, which work perfectly for this recipe anyway. So if you're not able to find any fresh ones, just use the frozen ones. The recipe is going to be perfect. So you let them cook, and just bear in mind that I also added a little bit of fine herbs, and I also added a couple of bay leaves because I really love the taste that it gives to the artichokes in this recipe. And then we make them cook completely. In the meantime, we actually move on to the crumble, and we just do a normal crumble as if it were a sweet one, but it's like without sugar. So you use flour, vegetable butter, there is cornstarch in it, and salt, and you start working all the flour and everything with your hands and create a crumble texture. That's what it's got to look like. And this is what the artichokes are supposed to look like when they are cooked. I remove the bay leaves, and then of course I chop them up a little bit because you need them not to be like completely smashed or a sort of cream or a puree. This is how you've got to cut them up. So more or less I would say like 1 centimeter thick. And then just cut them up here and there a little bit, because otherwise when you're going to cut your savory sbrisolona, it's going to fall apart completely. Just make sure you don't chop them up too much because we're not looking for a smash. And now on to the final part of this recipe, which is our tofu cream, which is extremely simple. Tofu cream is really very simple. Just put some tofu into your food processor with a little bit of salt and pepper and quite a bit of extra virgin olive oil. I would say more or less 4 spoons of it because you need to be able to create a nice cream. And just keep blending and blending and blending until the cream becomes extremely smooth. Exactly something like that, what I'm showing here. And then let's move on to putting this salty, savory crumble pie together. Just take the pan, oven tray, or whatever you're going to use, and put a little bit of olive oil and flour, or just some butter, or whatever you prefer. The point is that you've got to create a non-stick surface. And then you start putting your crumble in it, and you press it a little bit. You really have to press it down for the bottom. And then once you've created a layer below and a little bit on the sides, you just spread all your tofu cream. And on top of that, you are going to put all your artichokes. And just make sure that you leave a little bit of margin so that you can actually seal all the artichokes in with the crumble when you put it on top, just like I'm doing now. So spread all the crumble on top, all your nice crumbs, spread them evenly, and then you press it down just a little bit. Don't press it too much, just a little bit, because as I was saying, at least it doesn't fall apart, but it does need to have this crumble texture. And then you put on top quite a bit of olive oil, you put it in the oven, and this is what it looks like. As I said, it's inspired to a typically Italian recipe. I think that it's got a fantastic taste. As you can see, it's very, very easy to put together, very quick. It's fantastically delicious. I think it's al bacio. If you don't try it, you're missing out. I hope you like this recipe and let me know what you think about it. And if I did leave you longing for more, subscribe to my channel, Green Gourmet. And thank you very much. See you very soon on Green Gourmet for another recipe, another adventure, and a new video. Bye for now.